Are you one of those who gets all nervous and anxious when you know that you have to step onto the stage to address an audience? Or do you start feeling all sweaty when you're supposed to head into the meeting room to give your presentation? So, if you've answered yes to any of these questions, then there's a high possibility that you're suffering from something known as glossophobia or the fear of public speaking. Now I said suffering, so don't panic. There's nothing bad about it. So if you go by statistics, there's about 75% of the people globally who suffer from this. I being one of them, and I shall discuss how I overcame this based on few tips and strategies that actually many celebrities also do follow. So stay tuned, watch the video till the end to know how you can easily eliminate your glossophobia. So hello everyone, I'm Devika and welcome to our channel, The Assorted Bag. So if you're here today, then you surely want to know how you can overcome glossophobia or your fear of public speaking. So let's get into this quickly without any further ado. Let's get started as to what you can do about actually eliminating this phobia out of your life. Okay, so to be frank, I was, fear of speaking out publicly way back in school and even in college. And there used to be situations where I had plenty of ideas and opinions in my mind, but then the fear of being judged or the fear of being rejected, I just confined myself and, prevented myself from, participating in these kind of group discussions or topics that I had opinions to share about, but then I didn't speak out. So that is something that, stemmed out of maybe my glossophobia, and how I overcome is something that I will stress in today's video. That's because this is something that I've learned over these years and based on my experience. So what you actually do when you have a speech to be delivered, say the next day? Do you prepare, or you just relax and think, okay, let me just go there and do it? So if you're one of those who, you don't prepare much, but then when you're on the stage and you end up feeling all anxious, nervous, and your heart's racing and your mouth's drying out and you're just mumbling. So if you're one of those, there's a high chance that you need to actually prepare a lot before you step onto the stage or your meeting room. So let's get started with few of these techniques that can help you eliminate glossophobia. So first things first is about knowing what you're going to talk about. So when you are knowledgeable about something, it is quite clear and obvious that you'll be able to speak about it in a very easy and professional manner. So knowing your material, knowing your topic is very crucial. So if you know what you're going to talk about, then the words would come out instantly and you wouldn't have to struggle to frame sentences or to express your opinions. So the first tip or the first technique that most of the speakers who are confident and address the audience in the best way they apply is to know what they're talking about. So build the material, build the speech, and coming to the next point is again, yes, practice. So let's look into the second point, or the second tip for today is about practicing. Now, something that has been my favorite for quite long, and if you've watched few of my previous videos, I might have actually discussed that as well, is talking to the mirror. That helped me a lot. Yes, it might sound funny talking to the mirror, but it has helped me. It helps me practice. It helps me build my confidence. It helps me believe in myself that, yeah, what I'm saying is actually what I believe, and it can help people. Or if you're imparting some kind of knowledge, if you're talking to the mirror, you see that confidence growing within you. So when you have a mirror right in front of you, look at the mirror, look into your eyes. So assume that's another person and you're just talking. So speak out, because you already have your speech or whatever presentation is. If you have it ready, so just deliver it right in front of the mirror. So that is actually going to enable you to build your confidence. So when you speak out loud, you're also listening to yourself. So when you're listening to yourself, you get that confidence that what you're saying is correct and how you're presenting is correct. And moreover, another thing that you could do at this point, if you are hesitant about, talking to the mirror and you don't really appreciate that idea, then maybe another technique would be to record the session. So make use of your phone or camera and record it. Record the session when you're doing it alone. So, when you're practicing, so when you have your speech ready or your presentation ready, so practice what you're actually going to say on the D-Day. And when you're practicing, record the session. So once you've recorded it, go back to it later, maybe not immediately, because that might overwhelm you. So maybe a few hours later, just go back, watch the recording as an audience. So when you're watching what you said as an audience, you can actually figure out few errors or few things that you might want to rectify. So look at it from the audience's perspective and decide what works for you, or if you could have made any part of the speech or presentation better in any way. So that also helps. So till now we discussed about building your material or the topic. We spoke about how talking to the mirror can help. And thirdly, we discussed how recording your session would help. Okay, coming to the next strategy. Now, if you know your audience, you have a great bonus there. So see, when you are invited to be a speaker, say in conferences or seminars, or even if you're addressing your team in the office, so you know your audience, you know what kind of audience you're expected. So even if you're in a conference and you know what the topic is, so the people in the audience are going to be associated with whatever the topic is being discussed. So they're going to have a basic understanding already of whatever the conference is being discussing, or what kind of speakers they are expecting. So they would have awareness about all that. And the thing that you wish to know here is what kind of audience you would expect. So if you can manage some kind of data out of it, especially about all the eminent members, whoever is going to be present during the conference, or people who are going to be present during the meeting in office, it's going to be of real advantage. Because when you know your audience, you know how to structure your presentation, and that's going to give it a good layout, and it'll stand out and people will appreciate. And also, knowing your audience also benefits you in another way. I'll tell you how. So what happens is, when you are speaking, so you have delivered your presentation. So you would have observed that just before you say your thank you and bye and everything, there's something called as the Q&A, or the question session, when your audience throws questions at you, maybe related to the topic or related to whatever you said or spoke or discussed or presented. So you need to be prepared for these questions as well. So how do you do that? Again, knowing your audience. So when you know your audience, you will be prepared as to what kind of questions you expect from them. So you know what topic you're discussing, you know what kind of audience you have. So why don't you prepare a set of questions with the answers that you would be using for those questions? So having a question an answer ready beforehand will help you to a great extent to not just blank out when the audience targets a question at you. So when you have your topic, you have your speech ready, also ensure that you have these basic kind of general Q&As ready, so that you can always use them when answering questions targeted at you from the audience. So the next thing is about memorizing. So since school, many of us loved memorizing, okay? There used to be these subjects or topics that we were not that fond of, but then we, scored very well because we memorized it. So do you think memorizing helps when you're supposed to present or deliver a speech? Well, I'll tell you something from my personal experience. When I was doing my master's and we used to have these, the final year presentation, I had a friend of mine who, she did the entire project. She didn't actually want to do it, but then eventually she did the project. But then on the day of the presentation, she didn't know, exactly what she had to tell. So she had memorized, things that she would tell. So what happens when you're presenting is you go slide by slide and you're presenting and you're talking. But say somebody just interrupts you to ask a question of any particular slide, and you answer that. But then when you're moving to the next slide, you might just struggle remembering where you stopped. That's because you memorized. So when you memorize, you need to be in that flow, because even if you miss out one word or one sentence, you're just going to go blank and spiral out, and maybe you'll just forget where you were, what you were talking. So here the main point, what I wanted to say is you need to know the essence of what you're talking or what your speech is all about. So there's no point memorizing. You have a speech ready, maybe read it 3 times, 4 times, and get to know the essence, the deep meaning behind it, what you want to address the audience for, what you want to communicate. So here, if you know what the thing is talking about, you can actually frame your own sentences in your own words and deliver the speech. So there would be no requirement to follow the speech word to word. So this could be a real help if you're short of time and you need to just go deliver a speech. So always get into the habit of knowing what is there or the essence behind the speech rather than memorizing each and every word. So the next thing that I wanted to discuss here is about the speed at which you deliver the speech. Now, why does the speed matter? So the speed matters because if you're talking too fast, you're actually speaking before you're thinking. So, but the main technique here should be to think first and then speak. So that can only be possible when you talk a little slow, gradually, not real slow or not real fast. A gradual, slow-paced speech would also enable your audience to connect and understand what you're trying to say easily. So if you are speaking too fast, it's going to give you the impression that this particular speaker is nervous, anxious, and he just wants to step out of the podium and just finish his speech quite quickly. That's what the audience is going to think if you're speaking too fast. So you might just say, I'm speaking too fast right now, but that's just because I do not want to prolong the video. I'm not nervous right now. I'm just saying about kind of a characteristic that most of these nervous speakers have is that of speaking very fast and trying to finish the speech at the earliest. But that's a really poor habit because you need to think before you speak, because you do not want to say something that you cannot connect with or that is not intended to. So speak a little slowly or gradually, and so that you frame your sentences and phrases quite effectively. Last thing is about a glass of water. Now, when you're talking, your mouth would dry out. Now, don't think that your mouth drying up or you sipping water in between the speech would indicate that you're nervous. No, it's not. Most of the speakers, now since you're speaking for so long, since if say even right now, I'm doing this video right now, just once I finish it, I might just head out and go and grab a glass of water and just drink it off right immediately. That doesn't mean I'm nervous. It's just because I'm speaking for so long and my mouth just dried out, and that's something that most of the speakers experience. So now that they're speaking for say an hour long, it's quite obvious that their mouth would dry out. So there's nothing wrong if you keep a glass of water or a bottle of water right next to you. So if you see there's no bottle of water on the stage or right next to you where you're sitting, so maybe you can ask for it right before you start your speech, so that's there. So there's nothing wrong if you pause in between the transitioning from one paragraph to another in your speech. Just pause, have a sip of water, and then you can just carry on. So you also get to relax, and it serves as a breather, and it's a really good technique to prevent your mouth from drying out. So do ensure that you keep drinking water at frequent intervals so that your voice doesn't break or you sound confident and pleasant when you're talking. So before I wrap up, not a tip exactly, but I would also like to say that has worked for me is about deep breathing right before you head into your presentation or the speech. So if you know your speaker and you're going to head onto the stage, just take out a minute, practice a little bit of deep breathing. That's going to relax you mentally and physically, and you're just going to rock when you're on the stage and delivering the speech. So I hope today's video has been useful in letting you know that it is not wrong to have this phobia or the fear of public speaking. And as I said earlier, 75% of the people globally do suffer from this, and people try different ways to overcome. There are medications that help you calm down, but why choose that when you have these simple techniques? So if you're somebody who has you don't wish to come out of your cocoon and comfort zone just because you're scared that your opinions wouldn't matter to the audience, or they might reject what you said, or you'll be judged, so please do not fear all that, because it's fine to be judged. As long as you're letting your opinions out, you're just fine, you're good to go. And even on the stage, people are sitting there to listen to you. So make yourself heard, be confident, and you shall rock the session. So I shall end the video here today, and if you've liked today's video, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up and do leave in the comment section what is that one technique that you practice when you're heading out to speak to a larger audience. And do leave it in the comment section. I would really love to read them. And I shall see you all again soon with another interesting topic and video. Till then, take care of yourselves. I shall see you all soon. Thank you for watching today's video, and bye bye.